Welcome to Space Mysteries, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II, affectionately known as the Warthog, is a true legend of the battlefield. Its unmistakable silhouette and fearsome reputation have made it an icon among both pilots and ground troops. Built specifically for close air support, the A-10 is less a sleek, high-speed fighter and more a flying tank, designed to take punishment and keep fighting. Its rugged construction and no-nonsense appearance set it apart from other aircraft. Every aspect of its design is focused on surviving the chaos of battle and delivering devastating firepower to enemy ground forces. The Warthog's ability to unleash destruction while withstanding enemy fire is legendary. The A-10 isn't fast or stealthy, but it's incredibly tough. It was built to take hits and keep flying, even in the most hostile environments. The pilot sits in a titanium bathtub, a heavily armored shell that shrugs off direct hits from enemy fire, protecting the most vital part of the aircraft, its human operator. Its engines are mounted high and wide on the fuselage, making them harder to target from the ground and less likely to ingest debris from rough airstrips. The Warthog can fly with one engine out, a damaged tail, or even a wing riddled with holes. Stories abound of A-10s limping home after taking incredible damage, a testament to their resilience. This legendary survivability made it a hero to ground troops, who knew that the Warthog would always come to their aid, no matter how dangerous the mission. At the heart of the A-10 is the GAU-8A Avenger, a massive 7-barrel autocannon that defines the aircraft's purpose and power. The entire plane was designed around this gun, which fires 30 armor-piercing rounds at nearly 4,000 per minute. Its firepower can shred tanks and fortifications in seconds. Its signature brrrt has become a sound of hope for friendly forces and a source of terror for enemies. The roar of the Avenger is unmistakable on the battlefield. For soldiers pinned down and desperate, the A-10's arrival often means salvation. Its presence can turn the tide of battle in an instant. Unlike faster jets that must quickly pass by, the Warthog can loiter over the battlefield for hours, identifying and destroying targets with surgical precision. Its slow speed is an advantage, allowing it to provide continuous support. It's a blue-collar hero in a world of high-tech jets, a workhorse that gets the job done when others can't. But as warfare evolved, so did the threats facing the A-10. The modern battlefield became more complex and dangerous. Advanced surface-to-air missiles began to saturate the skies, making every mission riskier than before. The A-10's low and slow approach, once its greatest strength, now made it vulnerable to these new air defenses. Adversaries like Russia and China developed sophisticated systems that could easily target and destroy aircraft like the Warthog. The Air Force began to see the Warthog as a relic, highly specialized in a world that increasingly demanded versatile, multi-role aircraft. The debate raged on. Could the Warthog survive in tomorrow's wars, or was its time coming to an end? Some argued for its retirement, believing its era was over. Others pushed for reinvention, convinced the A-10 still had a vital role to play. The A-10's legacy, built on decades of service and countless saved lives, was now on the line. Would it fade quietly into history, or would it find new life and purpose on the ever-changing modern battlefield? The answer to that question would shape the future of close air support for generations of soldiers to come. And so began the quest to create the Super Warthog, a new chapter in the legend of this remarkable aircraft. The future of the A-10 Warthog became a heated battleground, splitting opinions within both the military and Congress. Senior Air Force leaders argued for retiring the A-10, believing the new multi-role F-35 would be a more versatile and advanced replacement. They claimed the F-35 could handle close air support missions and much more, all while benefiting from cutting-edge stealth technology to keep pilots safer. But this view faced strong resistance. Ground troops, experienced A-10 pilots, and a significant number of congressional members pushed back, voicing their concerns. They insisted that the F-35 simply couldn't match the legendary Warthog's toughness, ability to absorb damage, or its unmatched loiter time over the battlefield. Many warned that retiring the A-10 would leave ground troops dangerously exposed, without the dedicated support they relied on in the heat of combat. Mounting political pressure and public debate eventually forced a bold compromise. Rather than retire the Warthog, the plan was to reinvent it for the future. This led to the birth of the Super A-10 initiative, officially named the A-10Z Advanced Threat Upgrade Program, aiming to transform the iconic aircraft. The ambitious goal was clear: preserve the A-10's legendary strengths, but equip it with the advanced technology needed to survive and dominate on modern battlefields. The upgrade plan focused on three major areas: boosting speed and thrust, adding state-of-the-art electronic defenses, and integrating next-generation sensors and precision weapons to enhance its effectiveness and survivability. The Super A-10 would become a formidable ground attack platform, ready to meet the challenges of a new era of warfare. It was a bold promise to merge the best of the old with the best of the new. But the question remained: could this upgraded Warthog truly deliver on its promise and secure its place in the future of combat? Reinventing the A-10 wouldn't be cheap. The government allocated $3 billion to overhaul the fleet. This was a deep, structural reimagining: new engines, wings, cockpit, sensors, and electronic defenses. The investment was justified as a bargain compared to developing a new aircraft or relying solely on the F-35. The plan get near new capability for a fraction of the cost while keeping a trusted platform. But the massive budget brought immense pressure. Every delay and cost overrun would be scrutinized. The project was now too big to fail. Expectations soared and the clock was ticking. The $3 billion promise had to be kept. Success would mean a new era for the Warthog. Failure would be costly, politically and financially. The Super A-10 or A-10Z was a Warthog transformed. The biggest change: new, more powerful F-414 engines, promising higher speed and better survivability. The cockpit would be all digital, with large displays and a helmet-mounted targeting system. Advanced sensors like the Legion pod would allow passive detection of threats. A cutting-edge electronic warfare suite, EPUSS, would jam enemy radars and missiles. New coatings would reduce radar signature, making the A-10Z harder to track. The wings would be strengthened to carry modern standoff munitions and air-to-air missiles. The legendary GAU-8 cannon would remain, but the A-10Z could now strike from higher and farther away. On paper, it was the perfect blend of old and new: tough, smart, and deadly, ready for the future. But transforming a classic into a modern marvel would prove far harder than anyone expected. The dream was ambitious. The reality would be much more complicated. The Super A-10's bold vision quickly hit engineering roadblocks. The new engines were heavier and more powerful, stressing the old airframe. Early test models showed structural fatigue, forcing costly redesigns. Integrating digital avionics into a 1970s analog airframe was a nightmare. Systems clashed, software glitched, and displays failed mid-flight. The added weight from new tech reduced the A-10's famous loiter time and rough field capability. The aircraft was faster, but less of a Warthog. Delays and cost overruns mounted. The $3 billion budget began to evaporate. What started as an upgrade became a complex, frustrating R&D project. Each fix required more time and money. Optimism faded, replaced by doubt and frustration. The Super A-10 was in trouble. As technical problems grew, political support for the Super A-10 crumbled. Air Force leaders used the setbacks to argue the A-10 was obsolete. Congress, once united, split under pressure from cost overruns and negative media coverage. Contractors lobbied for more time and money, but skepticism grew. The Super A-10 became a symbol of government waste. Lawmakers who once championed it now distanced themselves. The Air Force pushed to redirect funds to the F-35. The program became politically toxic. The alliance that launched the upgrade had fallen apart. The Super A-10's fate was sealed in Washington, not the skies. The end came during a critical flight test in 2024. A prototype suffered a catastrophic wing crack during high-G maneuvers. Engineers discovered the new engines caused dangerous vibrations, literally shaking the plane apart. Fixing it would require a total wing redesign, adding billions and years to the project. The Pentagon recommended cancellation. Congress agreed. The program was officially terminated in early 2025. $3 billion were written off. Prototypes were stripped and sent to storage. The dream of a Super Warthog was over. The A-10 would fly on in its classic form, but its high-tech evolution was grounded. The ambitious upgrade collapsed under its own complexity and cost. The legend would remain, but the future belonged elsewhere. The Super A-10 failed because it tried to turn a purpose-built, low-speed tank killer into a high-tech, high-speed survivor. The A-10's rugged design was perfect for its original mission, but a poor fit for modern upgrades. New engines and electronics clashed with the old airframe, causing technical nightmares. Every improvement created new problems. Weight, integration, and performance all suffered. Political compromise, not engineering logic, drove the project. The result? A machine that was less effective at its core job and dangerously expensive. The Super A-10 became a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. In trying to be everything, it lost what made the Warthog great. The project was doomed by wishful thinking and conflicting goals. The lesson: you can't force a legend to become something it was never meant to be. The Super A-10's failure is a powerful lesson in the limits of modernization and the challenges of adapting old designs to new realities. Not every platform, no matter how iconic, can be endlessly upgraded or reinvented to meet the demands of a changing battlefield. Sometimes a design simply reaches the end of its potential, and no amount of innovation can push it further without compromise. The A-10 was brilliant for its era, a marvel of engineering, but bolting on new tech brought diminishing returns and exposed the limits of its original blueprint. The project became a cautionary tale about design by committee, where too many voices and political compromise diluted the vision. Trying to please everyone led to impossible goals, technical dead ends, and a loss of clear direction. The $3 billion budget created immense pressure to succeed at any cost, making it difficult for anyone to admit when the project was failing. Future defense programs need clear off-ramps, focused objectives, and the courage to walk away when a project no longer makes sense. The Super A-10 story reminds us that hard choices must be made early, not avoided or delayed until it's too late. In the end, the challenge of close air support in a world of advanced air defenses remains unsolved, demanding new thinking and bold innovation. The legacy of the Super Warthog is not in the skies but in the hard-won lessons learned from its ambitious yet ultimately unsuccessful transformation. Sometimes even the most beloved machines can't be remade for a new age, no matter how much we wish otherwise. The future demands new ideas, fresh designs, and the willingness to let go, not just upgraded relics from the past.